Will other striker-fired guns go off the same way that this one does if the trigger is pulled back partially or, most of the way up and you hit the slide? Will it disengage the striker and send it home? Will any of these, including the 365, go off in the same manner? Or can I get it to disengage? There's the tiniest little bit of play on this slide. And, all right, so we'll try this. We'll prep this a little and lift up on the back, push down on the front, give it a wiggle. Nothing. 365 X macro. This is a fully SIG stock gun except for the barrel, which is a true precision threaded barrel. Okay, that's pretty much as far as I can go until that goes off. Nope. Looks like I could do a little more. Nope. There we go. Nope. Can't get it to go on there. All right, now Glock. This is the 47? Yeah, 47. So these triggers I might set off. Yep, too much. So let's go right there. All right, again, slide down, back of the slide up, wiggle it all around. No. Okay. So now let's go even the cheapest gun on here, which does have some play. We'll see if this one goes off. I imagine of any of these, this might be the only other one to go off because it does have some looser tolerancing. So this is the PSA Dagger full size SX, I believe is their name for it. So here's that trigger really far. There we go. All right, I believe it's right there. Oh, got it to go on here. How about that? Now I'm interested in this one. Dang it, too far. Dang it. This trigger is goofy, dude. All right, that might have actually been it. So I am going to do that again. I will set that over there for now. All right, now Shadow Systems. This is a foundation model. And again, it's got a little play, but not a ton. So let me find the wall on here. Okay. All right. Yep. Shadow Systems does it. So the way this trigger is designed, it's much harder to get something in there. If I had a screw, I probably could, but guess what? I don't have a screw. I don't think. And I'm not willing to go look right now. But I've done this enough times now that I can confirm if I have this thing literally, dang it, literally right on the edge, it'll go off. Okay, can confirm that one will do it. Okay, so can confirm both of those did it. Now again, look at the play. So this one doesn't actually drop the slide at all in the back. How the SIG does, it doesn't lower that slide. However, this one does. Just a hair. So I'll be curious to pop these open and see what they look like. But both of these have quite a bit of play. Now, I don't own a just standard Gen 3 Glock, so I'd be curious to know if Gen 3 Glocks have that much play. To those who are curious about play, both of these have something that the SIG doesn't, which I would actually probably make it a bit more reliable. And we'll talk more mechanical for all of the uncommanded issues later. I'm sure we would probably end up finding something, possibly not quite to the extent of the SIG, and I'll get to that in that mechanical video. But these could probably still be in that issue of if we had as many people duty carrying these every single day. Probably this one more because I know PSA has a broader tolerance. Now, these both have something that the other, or that SIG doesn't. They have trigger safeties. So now I can pull it back, right? This one is split top bottom, kind of how the old Smith triggers were, right? Kind of that like half moon sticks out in the back right there, goes away. Okay. Then this has a traditional blade safety in the middle, like Glocks. Okay. Can't go unless you hit that safety. That's as far as it goes. Or unsafe it, whatever. So that's a huge deal in that. This also has a fair bit less play. This thing feels like a teeter-totter. So, yeah, obviously, if you can get enough motion to crank that up while this is being pulled down by the trigger, because that's what happens. As you pull the trigger, that lowers, which allows this to come off and slide forward. That can only fully slide forward if this is fully released and disengaged. I'm not going to go through all the rigmarole of that, at least right now. Maybe if people are curious, we can do some deep dives on this, which will probably be really similar to this one. I would just probably suggest tightening this up. I know these are based on Gen 3 Glock, so I'd be curious if you can get a Gen 3 Glock to do it, or if it's as tight as that thing. Now, let's looky here. Oh, no, those look pretty much identical. So I don't think they're doing a whole lot proprietary in there. So I'd probably say this one really is a tolerancing issue. I kind of just skimmed over it and didn't say all of my thoughts because I was looking at the time of how long it was being filmed. And yeah. So they are susceptible to the same thing I found with the 320 in my very first video. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Or if you're curious about the 320. There's a flaw where there's enough play in the slide that at a certain point of pulling this back, balls. It's really hard. So on all three of these, including my 320, I have to pull it back pretty much right before the true wall of the gun. Meaning any more pressure in the slightest, that gun's going off. That's less true with the 320. There is more room in there, at least with mine. And I'm going to be talking a lot more about that in that video. This also isn't a duty gun, right? These have play, and this did it just the same as these other two. And I had mentioned, trigger is a big plus, but even with that trigger, it doesn't make it not possible to do this. However, with these guns, I feel like it's way less likely because you really have to take up every single little bit. PSA daggers, I feel like with their variability and tolerances, it could be an issue, but because it's not a duty gun, it's not noticed as much. But even then, it's Glock 3 clones. I feel like their tolerancing isn't even that big of an issue. I'm not saying that there aren't more issues with these guns. What I'm saying is I actually truly believe that my SIG P320 and these would not ever just go off. And that's what I'm trying to find. A lot of people have criticized in the comments, rightly so, like, yeah, but you're engaging the gun. You're pulling the trigger. You're hitting the sear. You are engaging the gun. You aren't just shaking it and it go off. You're not just dropping it on a table and it go off. I genuinely don't believe that my tolerancing on these particular parts put together is an issue enough that it would go off. I also have a different grip module I'm going to try. I'm curious. I want to find a solution to this. I'm not just going to sit here, especially like I said, it's my favorite gun. I also believe, I don't have gloves on. I also believe that if you have the ability and understanding, then you should be able to do, right? Do whatever it is. Help the world in a better way. And that might seem a bit weird to say in relation to this, but I enjoy this. I really enjoyed engineering when I was in school. So this is kind of a trip back to that on a road that I never went down, right? But I understand this sort of thing. At the moment, I haven't fully taken this apart, but at the moment, I already believe that I have a fix for these and not just like a temporary fix for this particular gun. I believe I've thought of a way that this can just work, but that's a different point. That's what I'm saying. Like, yes, this can go off. That's a lot of what I'm trying to find with the 320 is, so yeah, that's one thing that I found. Hey, internet, I found a flaw. And I think it is connected to the uncommanded discharges, which is why that video is called I Found the Flaw, because I do believe it's the flaw. The way I can demonstrate it on my particular setup doesn't do uncommanded discharges. I'm trying to get access to more of these. I'm going to try a bunch of different stuff to see if it will go off. I don't think that any of these guns would just go off. I've run this gun in this configuration and other configurations. I was running it for years. I was doing classes. I was running and moving and shooting with it. Falling prone during shooting carbines and rifles. Like falling on the ground prone. Not just, oh, I'm slowly going to get down into prone. No, like dropping. This banging around, this in no retention slip and slides, and level 2 Safariland holsters. If it would have gone off, it would have gone off. I do not believe this gun will go off uncommanded by itself. This one. However, it's clearly obvious that there are guns of this model that are going off. And I think that is solely to do with massive tolerance stacks and certain parts not being built for the tolerance stack, knowingly for the tolerance stack. And that can be resolved, and we can handle that. So, if it's been cut out of any other place I said it, I'm going to say it again. If you are someone who has connection or is someone who can do internal firearms machining for parts, I want to work with you. I have what I believe is a fix, and I need to make it and test it and try to send it out to a ton of people to see if it actually fixes it. Or just test it on a bunch of sample stuff because I want to find a fix to this. I want to trust this gun, and if SIG's not going to do it, then I will. And I would love the help of everyone else who has the ability to do this stuff. I can come up with the drawings in CAD. I just need it to be... I need the person who has the expertise somewhere else with machining and processing and hardening metals. So, yeah. Thank you guys seriously for watching. If you have any suggestions, ideas, or anything, leave them in the comments. Even the guys trolling and just completely against SIG entirely, I want to hear from you. I've been trying hard to get through all the comments coming through these videos. It's hard. There are a lot. It's just me. Thank you guys seriously for watching. I am trying to get through some of these comments. Give me some time. I see all you guys and your suggestions. I'm going to look through the 365 once I'm done with this. Thank you guys.